Hello, my name is Will Dean. I'm the Forest author. Today I want to talk about the importance of bookshops. So, good to see you. Welcome back. You are very, very welcome here in my shack. That is my writing desk. That is my bar. My name is Will Dean. I'm a full-time author. I write crime thrillers with a protagonist called Tuva Moodyson, who is a young, deaf, bisexual journalist. And today I want to talk about bookshops or bookstores, as they call them in the US. These days, a lot of focus is on Amazon. A lot of focus is on eBooks. There's a lot of focus on audiobooks. All of them have their pros and cons, but I need to make a video on the importance of bookshops.
Bye. You sound apologetic.
Bricks and mortar. Bookstores where you can go in, browse books, look through curated selections of different kinds of books, different genres. Read reviews by booksellers and talk to booksellers who are extremely knowledgeable and passionate about literature. And that whole experience is kind of undervalued in 2019, in my personal opinion. I value bookshops now more than I ever did in the past. That's partly because I'm a published author, but it's mainly because I live in a boggy forest in Sweden, infested with moose. A couple of years ago, I opened my bedroom window and I heard a wolf howl. That's kind of weird. And there's no bookstores here. There's no shops, there's no restaurants, there's no cafes, there's no fast food, there's no paved streets. It's just me, my wife, my kid, a big, giant Norwegian forest cat, and a St. Bernard. And I miss bookstores because, you know, I get sent a huge amount of books each week, which I'm very, very lucky to receive. But the experience of browsing books in a bookshop and talking to booksellers who are brilliant, they are so important and so underpaid and so undervalued. It's astonishing. Like the idea that you can walk into a building that's quiet and full of books and you can talk to a bookseller and ask their advice. You can say, I enjoyed this and this recently. What do you suggest I read next? Or I heard about this book coming out. It's coming out next year. Is there anything by that author that you think I should have a look at? Or I'm a huge fan of Stephen King, but I've read everything he's ever written. What should I read now? Booksellers help you with that. They are the kind of fourth emergency service when it comes to books and choosing the right books. A book can be an expensive thing. It can take up a lot of your time. So you want to choose the right one. And you just don't get that kind of advice and that kind of service through an algorithm online. Doesn't work like that. They can help in some ways, but the experience of talking to a bookseller, and maybe a trusted bookseller that you go back to once every fortnight through the year to choose your books, once you start doing that, making a conscious effort to walk into a bookstore once a fortnight, once a month, once a week, talk to a bookseller that you know, and go through the books that are coming out, and go through, and they understand your taste, they learn to know your taste. It's just an exceptionally beautiful relationship and something that's really becoming more rare, which is very sad, and it's undervalued. And I want more readers to go into bookstores Take 5 minutes, walk into the bookshop. Do not be intimidated. And I understand members of my family are intimidated by bookshops when they go in and buy my book because they're not bookish people. They haven't been surrounded by books their whole lives. And I understand how bookshops can feel intimidating and overwhelming. And it might be nerve-wracking asking for help. But booksellers are the nicest people. They're surrounded by books all the time. They're huge readers. They have buckets of empathy. So do not be too intimidated. Go in, have a chat, look at some books. That experience of having a local bookshop, whether it's Waterstones, whether it's Foyles, whether it's Blackwell's, whether it's an independent, there are some fantastic independent bookshops all over Britain, all over the world. That experience of getting to know a bookseller and having that recurring kind of relationship and that dialogue where they keep you up to date with things and you have a little chat about what you've just finished reading. It's a great thing, and I really want to see more of it. It's something that I think in the current world where things can get pretty dark and pretty gloomy, where social media becomes very addictive, where the news flow is so incredibly fast and overwhelming, to slow life down a little bit on your way home from work or in your lunch hour, pop into a bookshop and choose a book and have a chat about books and stories. I think it's good. Like generally, I think that's good for your mental health. It's good for, it's just good for you. It's really good for you. It's nourishing. And physical bookshops offer that like nothing else. Do not go into a physical bookshop, have that experience of talking to a bookseller and then order it online because it's £1 and 10p cheaper. Do not do that. I understand money can be tight, but go to a library otherwise. Libraries and librarians are amazing and super duper important, and I'll do a whole other video on libraries and how libraries impacted me as a reader in my youth. I used to go to a mobile library, which is like a truck in my local village once a week, and it really changed my life as a kid. But if you can't afford bookshop prices, go to a library. That's my advice to you. Otherwise, if you can afford it, but you're trying to save a quid by going online, just don't do it. Like, just take a moment, take a deep breath, realize and recognize the value of booksellers and the value of bricks and mortar bookshops, and part with that quid, that extra quid, and enjoy the book and enjoy your ongoing relationship and ongoing dialogue with a bookseller or a couple of booksellers in that bookshop. That's really the message that I want to spread today, is love your bookshops, make use of them, buy books, talk to booksellers, and appreciate them while they're still here. And I think they'll still be here forever, but like there's a lot of pressure from other areas on bricks and mortar bookshops. So do what you can to support your local bookshop, whatever that is. Thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please do hit subscribe. Please do like the video, and I will see you again soon. Go to a bookshop. Look after your local bookshop. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.